It's still the man's fault that you got a disrespectful wife. Like
Golly.
you married her. Why is she disrespectful to you? Why is she not happy with you? Why is she talking back to you? Why did this change?
So you
What
believe
happened? You still
No,
chose
all
that
right,
woman,
hold
so
on.
you're still responsible.
that's a damn shame.
All right, so let me just go for a second. So, all right, Corey Holcomb was he was wilding. He like his one statement resonated with me. It said it is impossible for a man to create a broken home. That's bogus. We know that, right? It's absolutely possible. If I decide to just leave because I found me a little tenderoni and just abandon my family, that's my damn fault, right? However, I could never ever agree with the fact that it's 100% the men's fault, right? And anybody who dares to debate me on that, I'll squash you because that's trash. In all honesty, it could be anyone's fault, and I can prove it. You want to go, Marcus? Okay, so I'll just pose this question to you: Why, if you're going to say it's all the man's fault, on a scale from 0 to 100, where would you consider your game?
Mine
Yeah.
personally, probably 100.
Okay, great. Right. So you're a 100 player, right? What do you think that the average man's game is based on what you see online, based on what you see
Oh,
everywhere?
32.
30. Okay. 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 So let me ask you this. At what just this dude is creative player shit. You want NBA 2K right now. How much do you think that 30 player is going to do versus your 100? How well do you expect him to perform? If I take the 30, you got 100, and we're playing NBA 2K, who's going to win?
I'm gonna win, but hold on here.
Wait, you're going to win, right? Is it my fault
Let me ask
that
you this.
you won or I lost? Go ahead.
So in that scenario, I will win, but at the game that he's playing, we be playing the two totally different games. But at the game he's playing, my game or ability to interact with women has zero to do with me knowing the principles, standards, and the boundaries that I'm drawing. We're not talking about how good he can finesse and speak to women. We talking about how clear he set boundaries and doesn't allow her to cross those. Them that's two different things.
No, we're
But
talking about 30. If he's 30, he's lacking in everything. Rebounding is probably a 30, right? His dribbling might be 41, but then his skill set is 20 somewhere else. He averages 30 is what I'm saying. And that's the problem. He's going to be lacking in every category, and it may
so
not be his fault. Maybe he was raised by a single parent, mother or father, and
so
he's
Trey,
lacking the essential skills that he would need to navigate with this. We also have to understand the fact that
I'm not
humans, particularly women, could hold on. They could actually present their representative for up to 2 years, right? Also, women go through chemical imbalances, menopause, different things that happen. You could have a baby go through postpartum depression. There's different things that happen that would immediately change the dynamic of what you're dealing with, and you don't know. And you expected everybody to be able to have this discernment. Maybe they mean to, maybe they mean well, maybe they look for the things. There's a reason why people sit there and watch freaking YouTube videos when it comes to their relationship, because it's not that damn easy and they just don't know how to navigate it. And I understand what you're saying, because I could navigate and probably survive in any dating climate ever. But I know and realize that I help people who don't. And for us to blame them or demonize them or say it's all their damn fault because they lack the skills and miss the social cues to understand or be an expert at something and not have 100 player rating is bogus.
okay. So you could run like five different points. I was trying to respond to each one so I can get it. So I can
I'll
only
give you the
remember
floor for it.
I can only remember the first one. I probably should have wrote all of them down, but the first one is the most important one. Um, them having the ability to get women, to finesse women, to be able to speak in a way that the woman can hear. That's all extra on the cake. The initial thing that I'm talking about is their ability to set a boundary for themselves and make sure the people that are with them are following it. And if they're not capable of doing that, then that don't put them in a position to be a leader. If you can't say, hey, this is the boundary, this is how I want you to move, however you communicate that, it still doesn't change the fact that the boundary is there. You might not be able to communicate it that well, but you can still stand on that boundary. So what I'm saying is the ability to stand on the boundary supersedes anything that comes after that, and things will fall in line based on standing on that. And that goes into, hey, she's being loud and disrespectful. You don't have to have game to say, I don't tolerate loud and disrespectful people. If you continue to behave like this, then I'm gonna leave. And you're gonna have to find you a new man. And you keep saying, I don't tolerate loud and disrespectful women until you find a woman who understands not to be loud and disrespectful or is not that way. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a game to be able to like dress nice and have one night stand. None of those things matter in regards to setting up as a man a boundary to say, hey, don't cross this line with me and stand firm on it. You don't need to have game to do that. You just need to.
How do you answer Trev's point on they can be on their representative up to 2 years and don't cross that boundary? You didn't speak to that. You're saying that out the gate that you're seeing these signs. But Trev is telling you that these women can be on a representative for up to 2 years. And you're not accommodating that.
So in that scenario, right, you set a boundary, and if they were acting perfectly and they did not cross it in year 2, they would have had to cross the boundary for you to realize that they've switched. At that point, you still stand firm on, hey, I am not tolerating this. We need to, here's what I expect you to be like how you were prior to these 2 years. If you can't do that, then I move and I leave you alone. After they've crossed
and you leave her alone because you set your boundary, but you leave her alone with a 2-year-old. So now it's your fault.
You shouldn't be having kids with nobody you just met like that. You should be.
Hold on, you knew her for 2 years. It only takes 9 months to have a kid.
Yeah, you shouldn't be getting nobody.
That's the trick bag.
Is the Christian promoting premarital sex?
Your other piece of ideology is that you shouldn't have a kid with a woman.
The Christian
during you shouldn't have a kid during the duration that she's able to hold on to her representative for 2 years.
And they only been together for 2 years. So they got a 2-year-old baby.
And that only answers that one question because again,
aren't you like this diehard Christian, Darwin, that told women that
I don't call myself a Christian. I don't know where you got that from.
That if they get an abortion, you hope their skin burns off and it regrows and it burns off again.
That's not the words that I said.
Now you're talking about women getting a woman pregnant in the first 9 months and not vetting her properly.
She took Marcus off the hook for you. It wasn't me.
Or was it you?
Go ahead, DJ. No, I was talking to Trev. I was just trying to elaborate on the point that
I also think that it's almost like being single is trendy. Like in America right now, I feel like the societal changes in America, we prioritize our goals, over our family. Like traditional family structures struggle because people are more worried about like how they're going to advance in their careers, traveling, self-discovery. So I just think that the societal norms have shifted. And even if you listen to the rap music, like being single and a single mom, it's almost like it's trendy. Like it's a lifestyle choice at this point.